what made you want to start specifically looking for that? It's a little sus, dude. People don't even say sus anymore, man. Okay. The dangers in my heart. Okay. Elaborate next time. Seriously, elaborate. Yeah, the dangers in my heart. I don't have a volume on standby right now, but here's a picture of it right there. Yeah, honestly, I would say it's an interesting one. For me personally, I kind of enjoyed it because it kind of was, I wouldn't say accurate, but it did make me feel a little more seen, as it was pretty accurate to the middle school experience as a boy, especially when you're peeping at a young age. You know, you don't really know how to feel about it. You know, even at one point myself thinking, you know, I thought I was a pervert too, not realizing I was just peeping, growing as a guy. Yeah, if you find that kind of stuff relatable, it is really good in that department. I will admit though, it is a little, I wouldn't say OD with the fan service, but Yamada, she's a little, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a moral line there, because I know in Japan they think tall, or yeah, so you just think in Japan most people are 5'5" max. That's like the maximum average, right? Most people are 5'2", 5'3", so to them a woman who's 5'5" and above is a giant. So as far as they're concerned, that's tall. Same thing with like fat. Fat people don't really exist in Japan, at least not like in America. So to them, a woman who eats a lot, yeah, that is fat to them. Now, of course, there are more layers to that. If you don't know, Japanese people, they stop eating before they're full. So just that mindset from a young age for a lot of people keeps them in shape. Not to mention the food they're eating is generally healthier with smaller portions. So a character snacking out all the time. It's the same thing with Makane. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Too Many Losing Heroines. The main character, the main girl. I'm forgetting her name at the top of my head, but her whole thing is that she eats a lot when really she's just eating. But you know, in Japan, eating is kind of different. You know, over there. Yeah, I think it's a good story, all things considered. If I'm being honest, I think that it is definitely pushing a moral boundary, but it is a pretty anime too. I'm not gonna lie, they cooked. So, and the soundtrack is really good. If you don't know, yeah, he's the guy who did the Chainsaw Man and Dan to Dan soundtracks. He also did the soundtrack for Dangers in My Heart as well. He does Dangers in My Heart as well. So I would tap in on that. Now, for your high school romance, the more traditional, I would recommend Horimiya, of course, Horimiya. I think now we do have a copy of that. Would you like to see? I got you.